Hello all, welcome back to, and it's time for us to get a bone reading for the month of February and see what we have to deal with as we move further into 2023. So I see this as being a lot of time which we're dealing with a lot of change. And now that the Chinese New Year is over with, but in all truth, I kind of the opinion that the real year starts once we get to the new season, which is in spring, so March. But again, we set up for what is coming. So let's go ahead and get the bones out and the dinker out and see what the ancestors have to say for us. All right, so we have thrown the bones and we come up with our dice, which is going to be number 9. And we're dealing with the 9th house, which talks about travel, studies, higher learnings, morals, and ethics. Now, as I drew the Adinker cards, we got 3 of them this time. As you've seen in other ones, we have the Woro, the seed of the Woro tree, which is a hardiness, toughness, perseverance. It is the toughest of the seeds of the Woro tree. So there's an aspect of having resiliency and a toughness in this coming month. But we also got the butterfly, tenderness, gentleness, honesty, and fragility. The butterfly may flitter about around a pot of palm wine by the hut, but will not drink it, or it can't. So there's the aspect of there are things that are going to be attracting us, which we're going to also test our abilities to deal with the strength, and also the standpoint of, every pretty flower does not need to be touched or seen, but it is enough that it's there. And lastly, we have the snake that climbed the raffia palms, doing an unusual feat, ingenuity, excellence, feat performance, the ability to go further and perform in an unusual or impossible ways. So again, we bring this together, and it's the standpoint of there's going to be some impossible tasks that are going to be brought that would normally not be things we would try to do, but we need to try to do them anyway. And we need to also understand that we will be attracted by many things that we are loved, but we may not necessarily be there to enjoy them at this time. So we want to enjoy from afar, if you will. And in doing so, we can also have that place of toughness. And it's maybe also the toughness of deciding that we are not in a place where we are ready to enjoy that pleasure. It might mean waiting until March or later in the spring. But right now, there is a resiliency that we need to practice. And all of that in the frame of the 9th house. So we're looking for resilience, love, and doing the impossible around travel, around our ability to study, around higher learning, and most especially about our morals and ethics, which this year is going to test us in many, many ways around our morals and our ethics. So when we look at the bones, as you can see here, we've got the main bones. We've got 2 of them crossed and 1 by the side. So it kind of actually reminds me of that mathematical symbol of this does not equal that, or that there is not a necessarily equal sign. And I think we're going to find that some of these things that we're going to be facing this year, or at least this month, are not going to be following the 1 + 1 = 2. The way that they impact each other are not going to be very obvious. So we can't just operate on the idea that and assume that these equations fit. And what we've got here is, this is the work bone, that's the home bone, this is the social bone. And work, as you can see, has got a lot of the support systems, a lot of our support bones around it, but it's also got spirit behind it. And again, it's about our spiritual, our work here, and that's, again, not just what pays the bills, but also what we are here to do in this lifetime. And our choices are going to be ones that show resiliency, that show our love for something, which we can enjoy from afar, but also that we can do the difficult things, what some would consider the impossible things. And with the home bone, it's going to be important for us to be able to have our solitude, know where we can retreat to, and home is always, again, not just a physical place. It can be a group of people. It can be a general environment. It can be a place, a thing, or people. So what are also the things that help us make us feel like we're at home, such as a favorite clock or a favorite poster? There's going to be so much energy that is going to be put into our work and that are being balanced. Our balance is going to be able to come home to whatever that is and center and reground ourselves, to know what we are being tough about, to know what we are being loving about, and to know what we are doing impossible things for, as long as they also still fall into that place of our ethics and what we are learning. Now you see the social one is also here next to the shell and the quartz piece. So it's going to be about internal work, very much in this month of February. And it's going to be reflecting on choices that we have made and choices we're going to make. But are we, again, making that choice from a place of this equals that, or the aspect of these two things don't add up, but somehow we have to trust they are related to each other? And I'm going to say that again. Yes, they may not seem like they are two very disparate things that are going on, but they are related. The connection to them is not obvious. It's not the aspect of you expect the ball to fall off the table when the cat touches it. Instead, the cat draws it to them. And I know that seems like a strange one, but that's what we're looking at. And we got other supportive energies there. Now you notice that the broken rib bone is here off at the edge, and it is pointed away from us. So there is old strife that is working its way away from us. And some of the things that have started out this year are working their way from us. But that energy is not directed towards us, it's directed away from us and traveling away from us. We have some other support bones around the edges, and these are some of the, again, stuff that is coming in. As we can see, we've got the what I call the birth in the brain bone, and it's actually sitting on its side. So this is, again, a place that is going to be a mixture of what is going on does not equal what we think. And we need to be actually acting as if a portal between what is coming and what is going. So that's what they've got to say for you right now. I know it's a bit of a lot, but this is going to be very internally focused this month. And the choices are going to be tough. And something may seem appealing, but make sure you are getting some distance and perspective even if you draw close to it. And you may have to make some unusual and impossible choices. But you can accomplish that. And remember that just because these two things don't obviously add up, they are connected. And work from a place of greater morals and ethics, because there's a lot more gray in the world than just black and white. So, on behalf of the ancestors, I wish you well. And on behalf of the Orishas, Loas, gods, and whatever forces you believe in, please, oh please, know what you're thinking, know what you're doing, and know what you're going to be at peace with. Ashe.